how did it get this bad? I'm talking about my phone case. Can you see that? It is practically falling apart. It's about, the front piece is almost falling off. And I've been looking for a new phone case and I haven't really found anything that I liked. So I decided I'm going to attempt to make my own. I have this really, really pretty fabric. I don't know if you remember, I don't know if I showed this on the channel, but I made new curtains for my kitchen when we lived in the house last year, which I sadly cannot use in the apartment because they don't fit any of the windows here. But anyhow, I'm going to save those for the future. I have this piece of fabric left over, quite a lot actually, and I've decided that I am going to use this to create my new phone cover. I'm also going to use, I got this thin cardboard that I think will be good. I don't know what this is made of. Let me just remove my phone. There we go. I don't know what this is. I don't think it's plastic. It feels more like it is some kind of type of cardboard. So I think that should be just fine. So I'm going to make a pattern for the case and cut that out in the cardboard, cut it out in the fabric, and I'm going to use Mod Podge. I got both matte and shiny. I don't know which one I'm going to use. I just brought out both of them. And attempt to make a new phone cover. I'm also going to reuse this silicone piece because even though it's not very pretty, it doesn't matter because the back side will be hidden inside the phone case and the inside is hidden by my phone. So who cares? And like I said, this one is falling apart anyway, so I might as well just rip it apart and try to make something new. So fingers crossed this will work. I have never done anything like this before. I also have some ideas about maybe bedazzling the phone case a little bit more after having actually made it. We shall see about that. I'm not sure about that yet. I think that the trickiest part right now is how to figure out the corners, because I need to fold the fabric in somehow and kind of hide it on the inside. And I also need to decide if I want to have some type of pocket in here. Not sure about that because I never put my credit cards or anything in my phone. So technically I don't need it. The only thing I carry with the phone is that tiny little pin thing that you need to, in case you need to change your SIM card or something. That's the only thing I've just keep with the phone. So I guess I could make like a tiny pocket for that. So yeah, this week's project, a little bit of a palette cleanser, I guess, from last week's ginormous project. I felt that I needed something small and satisfying and fun, and well, not that last week's project wasn't fun, because it was, but yeah, just a small project this week. So let's get on it. So first off, I guess we will just trace the old phone cover to get the basic size with. Oh, that was a wiggly squiggly line. So something like that. And I suppose we're going to have to, because we want it to fold in two places, so I'm going to have to mark where the spine is, which would be there. I'm not sure how I'm going to mark it down here because there's no spine left down here, but we'll do an approximate, I guess. Something like that. And then is the question, do I want this back part to be foldable like so that you can put your phone like that? I never do that, but will I regret it if I don't? I don't know. maybe I will start watching stuff on my phone. I never do. That's the thing. I never watch things on my phone. Really. I'm not a doom scroller and I'm not a phone scroller at all. I barely even use Instagram on my phone. Or at all. So. Okay, well, let's just start with with marking the spine, and we'll cut out these pieces, and then I'll decide if I'm going to split this one, the back side, in half as well. All right, I have marked the spine. I have marked that where it folds on the back. And now I need to decide, because in order for this to actually fold, I need to have a little bit of space here in these lines so that the fabric has some give so that it can actually fold. And it's not real, there is, you can see it's like cracked here. There's not really any extra coverage or space there for it to fold. I guess it's because it folds that way. The fabric folds that way instead of that way. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna cut out these pieces, and I'm gonna cut the cardboard, and we will see what we got. I almost forgot. I have to do the hole for the camera. And this one is not quite easy to cut, but I do have a scalpel somewhere. Couldn't find it, but luckily I got tiny scissors on hand. Woo! So tiny they're flying away. So let's hope this works. That went well. Now I just need to remember that when cutting the fabric, I need to cut with seam allowance because I need to fold it in. And when cutting the cardboard, I'm just cutting to size from the pattern. So I guess coming up, I'm going to cut the pattern out in cardboard, and I think I'm going to do some to line this fabric, because where the phone case folds, it will be like hinges, and I want there to be more than just the fabric holding it. So I think I'm going to iron on something to strengthen the fabric a bit before adding it to the cardboard. Yeah, let's do that. Mental note to self, I should have cut the fabric before separating the pattern pieces, because the fabric is all in one piece. So don't do what I did. However, I still have the old phone case intact, so I'm just gonna use that to trace around, and tracing with seam allowance not only in the hole for the camera but also around the entire edges, because I need to fold in the fabric when I'm touching it. So yeah, coming up. I started out this project with an idea and part of a plan, and I should have done a full plan. First off, I forgot to cut the fabric while the pattern pieces were still intact. Not a big deal, I could just trace the case. So I did that. I cut out the fabric. I even cut out the hole for the camera, and I've done tiny notches to be able to fold it in. Then I realized that, oh, I need to cut the interfacing as well. And I should have done that too while I still had an intact pattern, but no big deal. use the phone case again. This time tracing without seam allowance because I don't want too much fabric having to be fold over the edges. So far so good. Cut out the hole for the camera so that it would fit on the fabric, and I was just about to iron when I realized what I had done. Here is the phone case. Here is the fabric I cut out. Notice anything? Yeah. I would have to attach it that way for it to work with the opening for the camera. Which means the pretty piece of fabric I cut out where I got as much lemon as I could muster, I can't use. I need to redo this. So, learn from my mistakes, people. Plan ahead. Alright, redo. Whew, that took some finagling, but I finally have what will be my finished cover. It took me 3 attempts to get it right because I wanted as much lemons as possible on the front, and this was the best that I can do. So next up, I've also cut the cardboard pieces, and I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add Mod Podge the back and the front to this fabric, and then I'm going to add in the spine so that I can make sure that I can actually fold it around the phone case. Well, this is going to be the phone case, but yeah, so that it doesn't catch, the front and the back piece doesn't catch on the spine, but that it can actually fold completely closed. So that's what I'm going to do next, which is very exciting because I have actually never used Mod Podge before. Yay! So let's see if I can do this. Here goes nothing. Let's see. I'm going to attach it like so, which means I'm going to put the decoupage on this one. Let's see if we can make this happen. Like I said, I've never done this before, so this will be exciting. Am I supposed to let it dry in between? Or do I just put it on right away? There weren't any clear instructions for that, actually. I did see a video where they let it sit for a while first. Sorry, I keep pulling it out of camera, out of view. And I don't know if that's the way to do it, because my can did not say. Let's go in heavy. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. What does the can say? Oops, doesn't. No. Seems I can just add it on right away. So let's do that. Okay, fingers crossed now that my aim is good. There we go. Oh, messy for sure. Well, it's there. Let's do the other one. Maybe we shall use the can this, or we can scrape off the lid. Okay, and that one goes like so. So the glue needs to be on this side. Very important. Put the glue on the right side. I think I've done enough mistakes for one project, don't you think? So I'm trying to be mindful of what I'm doing. so that I get it right. Oh, did I take too much this time? I don't know. We will see. Let's go with that. All right. And now, let's see if I can get it on here without any accidents. Are they the same height? I think so. Okay. There we go. Now we're just gonna let that dry, and I'll check back in a little while. Exciting. That's better. I had to move you a bit further away because I felt like we were so in each other's faces here. That's a downside of working from a really small space. I'm constantly trying to find angles and, you know, finding ways to film that are doable. Anyway, where are we now? We have glued the cardboard and the fabric together, and I'm really liking this. And I tried to add the spine as is, and much as I expected, as the spine, if I try to close it now, so let's get it in there, it doesn't close more than that. So I need to take a little bit off this, and then we're going to add that, and I'm going to do the edges here by the camera. I'm going to fold in these edges and try to make a nice finish for that. And then I'm going to have to find to decide what I'm going to put on the inside, which I haven't really planned for yet. I'm thinking about doing some kind of felt or something that doesn't fray. So I think I'm going to go look for that. But first, let's try to get this project together. Now we're on to the most finagly part. I am going to glue the edges here for the camera and these edges. And I am going to use Q-tip. And yeah, well, let's see if I can do this. Oh, I think that was a bit much. Maybe I should have had a toothpick, possibly. And because I don't want to make a mess on the outside. We shall see. Fingers crossed. It's very tiny stuff. Okay. I think I'm gonna grab another Q-tip to kind of push the edges inwards. Hopefully I'll be able to make them stick. mess. Let's not make a mess. We probably will, but let's try not to. This is tricky. Would have been easier if I had a bit more edge to work with on the fabric, but we shall see if we can make this work anyway. I think that's about as good as it gets right now. Fabric is a little frayed, but I'm hoping the glue will make it settle. Okay, well, I'm gonna let that dry for a bit, and then we're going to do, we're going to do these edges. But first, we're gonna let that one dry a bit. Time to do the edges, and I'm going to cut all the curves so that it will fold in properly. Just like sewing a curve on a garment. Same principle. There we go. And I'm going to get another brush. Now, question is, should I make notches here maybe? I probably should, shouldn't I? Since it folds right here. So I'm just gonna make sure that it can actually do that without issues. There we go. Okay. Here goes nothing. Start off with a small one. Okay, doesn't really want to stick. There we go. Now we're talking. No, we're not. Okay. My friend, I will, if you don't want to, I'm going to make you. Bring out my secret weapon. There you go. And we're gonna give the fabric a little bit as well here on the edge where they will overlap. I'm doing all right. It's a little less than I would like. Less fabric than I would like to have to work with up here, but it is what it is. I have to do this. Take turns because I don't think I have enough. Of these ones to do both sides at once. Good thing I have these though. This would be very tricky if I didn't. Trying to make, not to make too much of a mess here. Okay, this side works better because I had more fabric to fold over. Okay, here's a smaller piece again. Let's put a clamp on it. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that dry first, and then, oh, I made a mess here, and go back in and glue the other side once I can release these, because I'm gonna need those. But yay, we're starting to get somewhere. I'm very excited for this project. I can't wait to see what it will be in the end when I'm done. But for now, a little break for some dinner, I think, and I'll get back to it. Time for the last thing for today. I have glued all the edges, and next up I'm going to cover this entire area with decoupage or Mod Podge. And to be honest, this I think is the scariest part of all. It really is. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. Hopefully, well, we shall see. Let's just get into it. And make sure I get the edges as well. Not sure how much I should put on, but I'll just try to get an even coat, I suppose. Let's do all the edges before we do the larger areas. I'm also hoping this will help it bend back to a straighter position because it's so sort of bent now. I don't know if you can see that. All right. Not sure what, since I have to bend here, maybe there will be some cracks. Like so. Only one way to find out. Right, there we go. We're just gonna let it dry overnight and let's see what we got tomorrow. Good morning. Well, good afternoon, technically. It's a new day. My phone case has been drying since yesterday. I put it under pressure as soon as it had dried, and this is what it looks like. I'm quite thrilled. I think this will be good. So next up, I need to do something for the inside, and I haven't decided yet. Should I cover the entire thing or should I do the pieces? I'm not sure if I do a full piece like so. Will it be weird when I fold it? I don't know. Also, I'm not sure what I'm going to use. I was thinking about felt because it doesn't fray at all. So I think I'm going to start by looking for that. I think I might have some dark blue, maybe. Not sure if I have enough of that. But anyway, need to cover the inside. And once that is dried, I need to rip up this old cover, rip out this silicone piece, glue that in place, and that's it. Then we'll be done. But first, looking for something to cover the inside. I have glued the felt in place. I didn't find the dark blue that I thought I had. Well, I did have some dark blue felt, but it wasn't enough to cover this. And then I found this royal blue, which quite frankly matches the outside a lot better. So now I have ripped out the silicone holder from the old phone case. There's some stuff I've ripped up what I could. I don't think this matters. So next I am going to glue that in place, and then we'll see if I'm going to do anything else or if I'm happy with it. I think I might be happy with it as it is, to be honest, because I really like this. So I'm going to heat the glue gun and I'll be back. That's all, folks. I have glued the silicone holder to the phone case, and I used a glue gun because I figured that would hold better than this one. And after all, the silicone case will be holding my phone, which is rather heavy. So let's see if it fits. Phone in place. There it is. Works perfectly. And let's see if I can get in there. Just wash my hands so it doesn't recognize my fingerprints. And let's see if I can show you this on camera. There you go. The camera has a clear view. So all in all, a good project. Really happy about this. And I gotta say, this was a lot more fun than I ever expected. I've had these for the longest time and been thinking about doing that. And now I want to decoupage everything. And I'm definitely want to make more phone cases as well. Because this is fun. Once I got the hang of it, to stop making stupid mistakes. Yeah. So I'm very pleased with this one. Don't be scared to try it yourselves. I mean, I couldn't, you couldn't get any worse than this anyway, so I'm very happy with how this turned out. Feels sturdy. Surface that I can absolutely wipe off if needed. Yeah. And if I want to, I could add a tiny pocket on the inside later for that tiny pin if you want to switch your SIM card for whatever reason. But for now, I'm perfectly happy as is because I never carry credit cards or anything with my phone. So yay, that's it for this week's project. Fun little palette cleanser from last week's last week's project was a several month long project, so it was very big. Next week will be a somewhat large project. Half of it is already done. The other half I'm going to do next week, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.